Hello class, my name is Okonkwo Francis Catherine, your basic technology auntie, JS3. We are in week 7, and our topic for this week is food production. Through the course of this lesson, we will cover area like the description of cells that involve food production. We talk about identification of various food storage facilities and its advantages. And at the same time, we explain food preservation and method of preserving food. Students, we are in planting season, which is how many of you have followed your parents to go and plant maize, beans, vegetables, while you are at home. Government encourages everybody to farm to escape hunger, and I wish everybody are doing this. Our topic is on food production. What is food? Food is something that can be consumed by living organisms, especially by eating, in order to sustain life. Food production involves planting, harvesting, and storage. Planting. This involves tilling and pouring of the ground and sowing the seed crop. Peasant farmers are using hand tools such as hoe and cutlass, while in mechanical farming, they are using plow, that is tractor, to do the farming. When you plant, after tilling the ground, you go and put the seed, viable seed, and it begin to grow. Maybe after 3 months or 4 months, you go for harvesting. The harvest of crop can be done using trowel or wheelbarrow, picker, husker and sheller, knife, and hand picking. All these are being done by local farming. In mechanized agriculture, they use harvester machine to harvest the crops. Food storage. This is a process of keep the food item, especially the raw food, in order to prevent insects, animals, and bad weather from destroying them, thus making them available throughout the year. This is achieved by many methods depending on the type of food. Identification of various food storage and facilities and their advantages. Various food storage facilities include yam tuber. We store yam tuber in a barn. Large quantity of grains are stored in silo, as the way you have seen in the school. They have big tank where they normally use to store grains, okpa, beans, fiyo, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm talking about. Kola nuts, they are stored in fresh leaves. Your parents at home are doing such. Some raw materials are stored in refrigerator. Advantage of food storage. It helps to prevent pests and rodents from attacking the food stores. 2, it provides food all the year round. 3, it helps to transfer food to a distant places. Many of these are being done from north. They will carry food, onions, beans, maize, all the way from north and bring it down here in order to sell. And also, it helps to return food alive come next year. That is why the one they plant this year, it will be, when they keep it safe, it will be more viable to use next year for planting. Food preservation and method of preserving food. Food preservation is a process of keeping food items, especially cooked food, so as to reduce and prevent microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, mold from spoiling them. Method of preserving food. 1, we have drying, by drying, sorting, freezing / refrigeration, smoking / roasting, steaming boiling, canning, bottling, and pasteurization. Students, remember why I'm making all these stroke, what I'm talking about, like freezing and refrigeration. They are 1 point. If you mention freezing and you go and mention refrigeration, you are saying only one thing. Or you mention smoking and go and mention roasting, you only 1 point you are mentioning. But when you mention it at once, roasting or smoking, they are 1 point. So take note of it and make sure you download the note. Inside the note, I explain all the points, the key points one by one. Make sure you download it. Then let me just keep little of them so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Drying. Drying method involves reducing water content in the food, and this is done by solar drying, that means sun drying, through artificial drying using oven. What are the food you are drying? You dry fish, you dry meat, vegetable, pepper, and so on and so forth. We talk about sorting. This method also used for fish and meat, where salt is added to prevent bacterial attack. Then we talk about the pasteurization. This is a thermal heat preservation. Food is heated to high temperature to kill or destroy bacteria and their spores, which finally cooled and stored in or sealed. Example of this they are doing for palm wine and milk. Then canning. In this method, air is removed to prevent growth of new microorganisms, which can spoil the food, and the can is sealed by machine. The can is finally taken to a pressure cooker where stream of hot steam is passed over to kill all the bacteria in and around the cans. Example of this is tomato, tin tomato, corned beef, sardine, fruit juice, and so on and so forth. All of them are much safe to be consumed. Then we talk about smoking. This is a method to remove water from the food and kill non-spore forming bacteria. You must have seen where they are roasting plantain. What they do there is roasting. While they can also smoke fish. Then steaming and boiling. This method is used for cooking natural and healthy food without losing any nutrients. And by the way, we have talked on all the food production that involve all the method or the stages I've mentioned. Try as much as possible to download your notes. Assignments. List the steps that's involved in food production. 2. What are the advantages of food storage? 3. Outline 6 methods of food preservation. Remember what I have told you. Do not mention 1 point in 2 places. If you see such question in your forthcoming exam, make sure you download your notes so that you see the differences there. Until when you come back to school, I will explain more on this and highlight it to you. Make sure make sure you observe COVID-19. It is real. And key and stay safe till when I see you. Bye for now.
Great and glorious and powerful, hearken to the prayers of your children.